Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I will be showing you guys a little bit of me working on my book, my dystopian-ish fantasy novel. I've mentioned it before a little bit on my Instagram, but not too much. I haven't been posting a lot about it because I have this thing where if I post about it too much, then I'm going to have little motivation to actually write it, and then I'll just end up scrapping the whole piece. This happened before to my other dystopian novel, and I was just like, I need to keep this on the down low until I'm like fully committed, or at least until I'm halfway, and I am halfway finished with the first draft, so that's really exciting. But before we get into the video, make sure you follow my TikTok and my Instagram, because if you're not following, then what are you doing? Don't forget to follow my podcast. It's called The Elise Outlet. Okay, it's available on Spotify and it's available on Apple Podcasts. If you do not have either of those, then you can listen to it on my YouTube channel. Okay, no excuses. I do rants about anything book and writing related, or anything that I find worthy of typing out, if that makes sense. If you are a new subscriber, if you are new and you've never seen my face before, hi, my name is Elise. I'm a writer. I love books, I love writing, and I love yapping. I love making videos. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning. If you are not subscribed already, make sure you are. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you my fantasy novel. Now, I'm not sure how to really categorize it, and this will definitely be a problem when I start querying it to literary agents, because I do want to be traditionally published. It's like a fantasy dystopian, but I want to say it's more dystopian than fantasy, but has fantasy elements. Like, think of Red Queen, but don't think of like the plot or the characters or anything like that. Don't think anything that makes Red Queen, but just think of the setting. But it's not taking place in the United States. It's taking place in fictional countries, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. I don't know, we'll get to that problem when it comes, but I am going to show you my word count. Okay, so here it is for people. You can see that my target finish date is actually like the very last day of the year. I'm hoping that I get done with writing it, and then I get done with spelling and grammar checks so I can actually edit it. But that's just a projected target finish date. So yeah, we are currently writing chapter 12 right now. I have not typed it yet, so yeah. And the word count, let's see what that is. We are at this many, so let me we are currently here. I'm kind of excited because I actually was really worried that my first draft would be a little too short, but I don't think it is. But yeah, and it's not that it's such a big deal anyways, because it's going to be edited and things are going to get cut, things are going to get added. But I have a goal. I'm a perfectionist. I need to know it needs to be a certain way for me to actually feel good about this being a first draft. I know some other writers are like this. I'm definitely like it. It's a problem, I think. I don't think it's not so much of a problem. It's just a little thing that I have that I just can't get rid of. It needs to be X amount of words in order for it to be a completed first draft. Even though I'm going to absolutely demolish and edit the heck out of it, it still has to be that target. My target word count is 75,000 words. However, since I'm halfway and I'm at that word count, then it's probably going to end up being 80,000. But yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about For Her People real quick. So For Her People is about a girl who basically, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, saves her people from a dictatorship rule, right? So think of I don't know if this is a good analogy, but think of the Jews under the Nazis, because that's kind of where there's a lot of historical parallels in this book as well, and that's kind of the point of it. I've gotten this idea when I was reading the Book of Esther in the Bible. The Book of Esther is one of my favorite books ever. I love a good queen story. And I was like, I want that. And at first, if you all have been following me a little bit on Instagram, she was actually going to be a queen. Like, my character, her name is Anahi Wraith. She was actually going to be a queen, but I ended up discarding that round that I started earlier in the summer, and then I wrote this, and she's not. She's going to be like a metaphorical queen, as in like a queen, but not with no royal blood whatsoever, but it's more so synonymous with the term leader, if that makes sense. And she kind of saves her people from, or kind of like grants liberation, opens the door for liberation for her people. The title kind of like comes up, and I love it so much. It's jewel based, like a jewel magic system kind of. So there's 2 jewels, there's ruby and there's a sapphire, and I love it so much. And yeah, the characters are also really, I love the characters, I love all of them. Probably gonna have to delete some, not even gonna lie to you, but hey, that problem will come after the first draft is actually done. So her people have been terrorized. They're under a rule that absolutely hates their kind, but only wants them for their resources. There's a bunch of, women getting trafficked. There's a lot of historical parallels that we see in my book, and that's kind of the point. And seeing how dangerous this whole thinking is, and there's going to be a point where my characters go to that country where like their oppressors are from, and they're going to see propaganda about them, about how they're dirty, about how they're less than. They're going to see it in newspapers, in art, and music. So it's going to be it's going to consist of so many historical parallels, and I'm so excited to write that. I haven't gotten to that point, but we're getting close to it. So yeah, and it is Afrocentric. I don't know why I haven't mentioned this before, but it is an Afrocentric dystopian fantasy, and I'm so obsessed with that. I'm so obsessed with it. We love a good one. But yeah, let me actually show you guys the Pinterest board that I have for this. If you guys want to see the Pinterest board, then I can link it in the description box below. Okay, so here's what we're seeing right now. Yeah. Let's go to Anahi. This is like my main character. I haven't added that many pins for her section yet, but you kind of get her vibe here. Spoiler. But yeah. Is my male main character, Malik Groves. We love it. This is the best friend of my female main character. Her name is Naomi Varel. So I love it so much. I see myself. I love writing books that I can actually see myself in. I know people think that representation isn't really that important, but when I tell you, when I saw Tiana on screen for the first time, when I see Black characters that I can actually relate to, who are not categorized by stereotypes or any like negative labels, then it really is liberating. It really is refreshing seeing a powerful but not rude and obnoxious Black girl in the media. Like, I don't think people realize how amazing and how healing that is for a lot of people of color, where they are grown up in their community, or where they are grown up in a world where people believe a certain way about a certain race or ethnicity, and it's like exhausting because it's like not all of us are like that. You know what I mean? Like, there may be a few here and there, but we're not all like that, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. Actually, guys, let me show you the first draft, like not the first draft, but like my first attempt of writing this book. Here it is. As you can see, I made it very far, surprisingly. I was dedicated. Like, oh my gosh. And we made it to a point, I remember just like one time, just like, I just don't like it. It was just, it wasn't flowing the way that I wanted to. And a little sneak peek, it's been 24 hours since the first attack. And it's just like, I could have finished it, but it's like, why would I finish it knowing that I'm just going to rescribe it anyways? So, yeah, finished, quote unquote, right here. It's uncompleted, but I've learned where not to take it. It's kind of devastating. I made it I think I had 5 more chapters to write. But as you can, I spent so much time on it, but I've learned where not to take it, where to take it, and what to do. So lessons were learned there. Okay, well that is going to be it for today's video because I don't want to say too much. Because like I said, I'm going to end up saying too much and then I'm going to not want to write it anymore. I'm going to get this feeling that I can do something else and then I'm going to end up doing that something else. So to spare you guys and to spare me from having to come up with another story, which I kind of already have in mind. I don't know if I should write another story completely unrelated to this or should I go ahead and write book 2. And book 2 is going to be it's going to be one of those series where it's you don't need to necessarily read the first book to understand it, but you have more context when you read the second book, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I just finished my math homework. It was just a review, school just started. It was just a review, but it's also it was a long review that I just did. But yeah, thank you. If you stayed until the end, thank you so much for watching. Comment a red heart. Yeah, comment a red heart and a crown in the comment section if you stayed until the end. Don't forget to follow my TikTok. Don't forget to follow my Instagram. Okay. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. Follow my podcast. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share. Okay. The more the merrier, right? I love you all so much. God loves you. He sees you. He sent his one and only son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for your sins. I love you all so much. Never let anyone dim your light. Okay? Bye.